So hello, it's Lisa here at Sojourn again, and I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce one of our newer psychotherapists. This is Shyla. She's joined us just recently, and so I'm going to ask her a few questions about her practice and give you the chance to get a feel for who she is as a practitioner. So Shyla, can you tell me a little bit about what brought you into psychology? Why was it interesting?
Yeah, I grew up at a kids summer camp, so my whole life I've been kind of raised in the service industry. Loved working with kids, always had guests coming in and out, and so I always knew that I wanted to just help people. It's something I saw my parents do my whole life, all in very mentorship roles. And I initially thought I wanted to go into nursing, and then I discovered I really don't do well with bodily functions, and I have a very queasy stomach, and it just wasn't going to work. And so I was actually reading a book series, and one of the characters was a psychologist. I just remember that moment, that book really kind of just changed my view about what I wanted to do and kind of opened a whole new world I had never even considered. And I just fell in love with the book and just this idea of getting to sit and to talk with people and to be part of their lives. And I always have been described by my mom as like a quiet extrovert, and so I love to be with people, but I can get overwhelmed really quickly. And this was just a beautiful way of being very relational, very intentional, getting to just sit with one person and really hear their story, get to walk alongside them in their life. And kind of once I made that choice, I never looked back. I found the next program I could enroll into and just kept pursuing it and kept pursuing it, and now I'm here and I love it.
Excellent, that's great to hear. So can you tell me a bit about the groups of people or the populations that you work with?
Currently I've been doing a lot of individual work, quite in the range of ages. So a lot of my work is with kids. It's kind of my background and my history, and I really enjoy getting to just connect with my kiddos. And definitely have been loving some of the older population too. It kind of adds a nice balance to have some of the age and then some of the kiddos and the fun, and kind of the different areas of concern, a lot around anxiety and depression. Coming from a camp background, that's a lot of the kids that we worked with was, even just working through panic attacks and understanding our bodies and emotional regulation. And then an area that's been really interesting to me as well has kind of been that kind of connection piece and relationship, and when those kind of go south, which they inevitably do, how do we kind of learn some of our patterns, kind of get back on track. And so I'd say those are kind of those main areas of focus currently, and kind of still a spread of some of the ages that I work with.
Sounds good. And what about techniques? Do you have a favorite?
I definitely like acceptance and commitment therapy. It's been a very interesting kind of piece in my mind, this idea of the more we fight against some of these hard feelings and fight against these experiences we have, the more and more we actually get pulled into it, thinking of sinking sand. And the more you resist, the harder and harder it is to get out. And I've been really intrigued, even just personally, with the concept of how do we actually kind of lean into it, and how do we relax and find space in some of those difficult areas. And when we open up that space within us, we can actually maybe find a way to kind of take the problem, get a little space in it, and have a chance to kind of see a different perspective. And so it's just been very interesting to me, and so some techniques I've been trying to use a bit into my work. And then again, really that relational piece too, of what relationships do we hold, the patterns we've learned, and how do we see that play in the world around us and in our interactions, and how do we maybe work at even just tweaking one small piece of the pattern to kind of have a different experience next time.
All right, well, thank you for sitting down with me for a few minutes, and we're excited to have Shyla with us for the next who knows how long. So she's open for booking, and if you feel like she would be a good fit for yourself, please feel free to give our offices a call and we can set up an appointment. Have a great afternoon.